All right, y'all. I'm back. I decided to make part 2 of 2 before I go into class this morning. So good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday and it is 9:06. Not sure of the date, but it's okay. First off, before I start into part 2 of 2, I just want to say, I'm not trying, this video is not to be disrespectful to anyone. It's not to talk down on anyone. It's not to hurt anyone. This video is solely for my healing so that I can get this out the way, get it over with, and let it go, and be done with it. So this is my healing, but it seems like the more I'm trying to get my healing out the way, it's offending certain people. And it's like, at this point, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry no more. Because for the longest, the narrative was I killed my baby's father over a Mother's Day gift because it wasn't good enough or because it was cheap. That was the narrative the family went with for forever. And it's crazy because we all know that's not the truth. We know it's not the truth. It's sad when people know the truth and they still won't tell the truth. It's like you don't have nothing to lose. Like, although we gonna get into all of it, it wasn't uncommon. Let's be for real. Like, for the family, it wasn't uncommon for you guys to see me with like black eyes and raw necks. Y'all wouldn't even ask me what was wrong because y'all already knew. Now you got the brother commenting on my videos, the little brother. Same person that reached out to me 2 years ago talking about what's up, sister-in-law. I had to block. I'm sorry. I don't trust him. So I had to block him. But now you under my comments, saying stuff. And like I told him, the more y'all come for me, the more I'm going to let my voice be heard, because y'all ran with the narrative that I was just this person that killed this man over a gift that I didn't appreciate. Like I said, that wasn't the truth. And so I'm here to tell my truth. And if you don't like it, then don't look me up. Don't look me up on YouTube. Don't look for my videos. Don't look me up. And I'm saying it in the most respectful way possible, because this is now my story. Now I have the floor. Y'all had the floor on the news. Y'all had the floor when y'all seen people. No, y'all have told the story, and I'm here to tell the whole story. And I'm sorry if you get offended, but I'm not sorry, because for a long time, nobody had my back. Not even in the courtroom. No, nobody even wanted to stand up and say, okay, yeah, she telling the truth. He did used to be her. She was aggressive. She killed him on purpose. She wanted something better. Let me tell y'all something. I came from nothing at all. So why would I expect more from somebody that I love genuinely? When I say I came from nothing, I'm not saying I was dirt poor. My grandma did the best that she could. She did the best that she could with us. In the meantime, doing the best she could, she was still sick. So no, we didn't have the best of luxuries. I didn't come from a top-notch life. I came from the north end of Bowman, getting it how you live. You feel me? Like, that's how I grew up. Sometimes the lights bill will be paid. Sometimes the gas will be off. Sometimes we had to warm up water in the microwave to bathe ourselves. That's just the way. And I used to be ashamed of that for a long time. But now I realize, you know what I'm saying, that made me the woman that I am. I know how to survive in any circumstance now. In all aspects of my life, I know how to survive. If the world came to no power right now, I know how to live. I know how to survive. I know how to survive without water. I know how to survive without lights. I know how to survive without gas. That's what my grandma taught me. So I appreciate the struggle, because it made me who I am today. So I'm not no spoon-fed girl. So why would I look for something more than what somebody had to offer and give me at the time? So that was not the right narrative to go off of. Now, with that being said, Like I said, if you don't like what I'm saying, or you don't like me, or you feel some type of way about me telling my truth and standing up for myself, dismiss yourself off my channel. It's fine. But for everybody else, we about to get into it. So on my last video, I had to cut it short, y'all, and I didn't mean to, but my daughter woke up. Remedy woke up. She was crying. So I had to go tend to her, but I intended on that video to be 30 minutes, 30 or 35 minutes. So I believe I left off telling you guys, we was staying with his grandmother, and even when we was there, he would choke me and lock me up in a room. And I remember one day after he left from choking me, you know, and holding me in the room, we arguing in the back room. He left. I'm in the room crying. So I finally come out the room to get me something to eat. So his grandma, she just sitting there. So she like, well, whatever you doing to him, you need to stop doing. You need to stop making him so mad, and he'll stop putting his hands on you. Now, mind you, this is his grandmother. But you know, like I said, they say his daddy used to beat on women. So I can imagine how many other females she told it to, you know. So, and I know y'all probably thinking like, well, you could have left, you know, your own free will. This is for a lot of women too. Y'all be like, for domestic violence victims, y'all be like, well, you should have left. Or y'all be like, I'll never be in a situation where a man put his hands on me and I won't leave him. Baby, let me tell you something. You don't know what you gonna go through until you grow. You actually live through it. The best teacher is going through something. And when you're going through something, you don't know what you can handle or what you gonna deal with. So all of that, cause a lot of women do it when men cheat, and I'll never be with a man that cheat on me, but you still living through it and you're still doing it. So don't judge somebody that's in a situation where they can't get themselves out of it, because them staying come from a lot of things in their background. Like for me, I learned later on in life I had an abandonment spirit. Like I dealt with so much from men because my daddy left me when I was 7, and I was looking for that love from my daddy in different men. And so that's why I tolerated a lot of stuff. But long story short, we're going to get into that too, because it's deep. I'm telling y'all. So with that being said, so I'm sitting in here looking at her like, you know, how many women she done told that to, you know. So we stand so at the time his grandmother was married to a man in Woodville. I think his name, I want to say they called him Archie or something like that. So I guess they had like infidelity problems in their relationship. So I would be outside and he'll be outside smoking. Me and this man wouldn't even be saying nothing to each other, but she'll swear to God like we was outside talking or whatever the case may be. So that got uncomfortable for me. So sooner than later, me and Jerry ended up getting our own place in Woodville. He was working at Peace Hut, but the whole time he was getting a first of the month check, but his mom had told him that it got cut off, because that's why he started working at Peace Hut. Now, let me say this. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, it was always bad between me and Jared, because he had sweet moments. You know what I'm saying? Like, JR, he did his best to provide for me. You know, he did his best to provide for me. And it was times when, like, in the beginning of our relationship, like when we was, you know, 13 and 15, when he would come to my school for like Valentine's Day, bring me a teddy bear and some candy and a card, stuff like that. I ain't kill him then, so why would I kill him now? So he had sweet moments. He wasn't always abusive, but over time it just got worse. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, now looking back at it, I understood like it was a generational curse. He seen his dad beat his mom, so it was generational. You, as kids, we do what we see when we grow up. You see your mom or your dad do. So that's like my mama. And I'm gonna talk about that too. My mom died from cirrhosis of the liver. She was 28 when she died, a baby. You know what I'm saying? So she was sick. She was an alcoholic, and that generational curse passed down to me and some of my siblings. You know, we delivered from it, but you know, it's a generational curse that sometimes as the children we have to break it, you know. And thank God if you can, you know, and if you can't, ask God for deliverance, because he'll do it. But so back to my story, we got our own apartment eventually. It was like these green apartments. I want to say somewhere by a school on the main street in Woodville, because Woodville small, like, got a main street. And I want to say we was by a school at the time. The apartments was green, and we had like a studio apartment. Like, if you walked in our apartment, the kitchen was right here, the bedroom was right here, and we had a bathroom. So we stayed in like upstairs from these people downstairs while JR was at work. See, I didn't know nobody in Woodville, so I stayed in the house. I was pregnant. I stayed in the house. So while we stayed in Woodville, downstairs from us, they had this woman named Miss Anna. I did not know that woman last name. She was a Caucasian woman, and I used to come outside sometimes to just get some fresh air. I was pregnant, so she used to just talk to me, and then we got cool. See, I'm a friendly person by nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I say friendly, I mean, like, I'm inquiring to get to know the next person. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you know, black, white, Asian. I'm not. I just, like, I see people heart. So, like, this person always told me a long time ago, get to know who you can get to know, because you 7 people away from meeting the person that you need to meet so you can get where you need to go. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm always open to meeting other people. So when I say I'm friendly like that, that's what I mean. I'm friendly like that. You know what I'm saying? So me and the lady started talking, and so we became close. So if I got out the house, it would only be to go downstairs to talk to her. So she would hear, you know, she would hear JR fighting on me, and then the next day I come downstairs, she'll be like, you okay? It makes me so mad he's doing it to you while you pregnant. Because at this point, JR had, like I said, this abuse is gonna go in phases. That's why I'm giving y'all the beginning, because in the beginning, it was just choking and holding me hostage in the house. Like, in that apartment, JR used to sleep with the couch in front of the door, just so I wouldn't leave through the night. You know, that was controlling behavior, you know. So okay, cool. So I befriended Miss Anna. Now we stayed probably like 2-3 months, I want to say, because when we got back to Bowman, I had filled out this application for these apartments called Plymouth Village Apartments. And anybody from Bowman know these apartments. This was my first apartments when I was 17. But because we had left Woodville because we couldn't afford the JR Pizza Hut check wasn't, you know, cutting the apartment bill. So we moved back to Bowman because we couldn't afford the apartment out there. Plus, when his mom found out I was pregnant, then she decided that she wanted to be, you know, like, she started coming around, like, to the point where, okay, well, this is gonna be my grandchild, so I guess, you know. So we was waiting on our apartment to come up for Plymouth Village. So at the time, I believe JR was staying, I was staying with my sister Kika, and in Plymouth Village, because she stayed out there at the time. And I believe JR was staying with his mama and his mama boyfriend. But we would still, like, you know, we'll be together, you know, see each other when we can or whatever, or spend a night with each other when we can, or spend time together when we can. So I stayed with Kika in Plymouth Village. She stayed in the middle section. They had these other people that stayed, like, diagonal down from Kika, Miss Evelyn and her daughter. And then they had Lorianne that stayed across the way from Kika. I'm naming names because these people, when they see this video, they're like, nah, she ain't lying. Because I remember this. Like, these are the bits and pieces that I remember. So I remember the first time it got hurtful in this relationship. I was about I was about maybe 8 months pregnant. 7 going on 8 months pregnant. I'm talking about I'm big with my firstborn. So in Pima Village, they got these stairs. Like these flight of stairs. So I think I was at Lorianne house that day. Lorianne, if you see this video, hit me up because I know you remember. I believe I was at Lorianne house having an argument with JR on the phone. And he got so mad at the argument, he got off of work just to come home, just to come to Kika house where I was staying at. Kika was in the house sleep, but she didn't know I was at Lorianne house, so her door was unlocked. So he went in Kika house thinking I was there. But me and Lorianne watching him from her apartment, go up the stairs, grab all my stuff, and go throw it in the trash can. Mind you, Pete, his mama boyfriend was sitting out there in Pima Village at the time. So he seen JR do it. He was like, JR, you don't do that. That girl pregnant. So he was telling him not to do it. JR was like, I don't care because she gonna stop playing with me. So I came out of Lorianne house, trying to go upstairs and tell Kika to lock her door. So I'm going up the stairs. I'm not sure, y'all. It's probably like 15 stairs, maybe 11. I don't want to be over dramatic, but if y'all been in Plymouth Village, y'all know what I'm talking about. So at the top of the stairs, count maybe 5 or 7 steps down. He ran up the stairs. He got in my face. Now, mind you, we on a stair rail. So I'm telling him, get your hand on my face. Like, stop. Don't. I'm like, look, leave me alone. Just go on about your business. JR chokes me so hard, I flip off the rail and land on the cement on my stomach. Okay. As if that wasn't enough. He comes down the stairs, comes pick me up off the ground while my baby curled on one side of my, I feel it. I felt it. My baby curled on one side of my stomach. He picks me up by my neck and puts me on the wall and starts choking me on the wall. Pete came and got him out for me. So I'm telling him I'm about to call the police. So while I'm saying that, he ran off. So I call the police, but then I call his mom and I tell his mama what's going on. So Mimo, man came to the hospital while I was sitting in the bed. So while I'm talking to the doctor's checking me out, whatever, you know what I'm saying? He comes to the hospital and he's still arguing with me, take my stuff and leave. Okay, so that was the first time I was like, okay, this boy, he got a problem. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, forgave him for that. I had to, I was still staying with Kika. And it was time for me, okay, so during that time, like, he chilled out for a little while. Okay, for the rest of my pregnancy, we're still arguing, but it wasn't as worse because, like I said, we weren't staying together. He couldn't get to me how he wanted to. Okay, had Demarian. I was in a hospital. So at the time, we were still waiting on our apartment in Pima Village. So we went to go stay with my Aunt Carla. My Aunt Carla gave us a room in her house. You know what I'm saying? She gave us a room in her house. So we stayed over there. I'm healing up from my C-section. You know, we stayed over there. So we get our apartment. We finally get our apartment. But because I was only 17 at the time, he was old enough. So Miss Mickens, the apartment manager, she was like, well, you're not old enough, so we're gonna just put him head of household and we're gonna put you on the lease because you still 17, but when you turn 18, we can put you over the house. But we ain't even stayed there that long because we got evicted because of his bull crap. So, okay, we got in our own house. Like I said, it got worse. So here he go. You know, after I had Demarian, I had developed postpartum. Like, I loved my child, but I didn't know how to be a mom. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, JR, like he stood up, and he did as far as a father. When I was going to postpartum, he was great. He did everything he was supposed to. Changed them, fed them. He was a good father. So we would get into it, but he was still with the choking and the holding me in the house. Now one instant, okay, I have an older sister. One time, I don't know what influenced this fight, but one time we got into it, and this not a lie. One time we got into it, and I don't know where this girl came from, but this my oldest sister. We got into it, and he had me on the bed, and he was choking me. This was Plymouth Village apartment. How my door got unlocked, how she got in there, I do not know. All I felt was her raise up. All I felt was JR raise up off of me. And when I looked up, she had him against the wall and put a knife to his throat and told him, if you ever put your hands on my sister again, I will kill you. So that was that. Okay, so she witnessed it when we stayed in Plymouth Village. Okay, now this was this other incident. Remember I was telling y'all, okay, I'm flying through it. Like, I'm not about to tell you, like, the whole, like, you know, I'm flying through it because I'm trying to, when this story get interesting and y'all be like, oh, you know, oh, they did her dirty. When y'all, after JR died, while I'm incarcerated, and after I get out of jail, y'all about to see like how dirty this family did me. You know what I'm saying? But I rolled so hard for them even before this even happened. Like, let me tell you something about me. Sometimes my loyalty for people get mixed up in love. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I confuse loyalty with love, but I learned in life, like, I'd rather loyalty over love, because if you loyal to me, you're not gonna cross me. You feel me? Like, you know, so loyalty is everything with me. You know what I'm saying? So it was this other incident. Remember I was telling y'all how when the mama was telling me stories about what his daddy did to her, she told me a story one time, and she was like, his daddy took her out to these woods in Woodville. She said, so they was out there, I think he told her to take off her clothes or something. I want to say she said they had sex or something, and she said after that he started beating her. Before that he beat her. So she said she was so scared she ran out of the woods naked. She said she was flagging people down to help her, but I guess he thought she wasn't gonna move because she was naked. But she was like, she was running for her life. She didn't care. So back to what I'm telling y'all. So in another incident when we stayed in Plymouth Village, we stayed at the back part. I think our apartment was like a number 98 or 97 or something like that. So at the back of the apartment complex, one day we got into an argument. And see, this what JR used to do. Because the apartment was in his name, he used to always put me out. Like, when he'd get mad at me, you can leave. He'd be like, you can get out. My son ain't going nowhere. Like, he used to hold my son. Like, he knew I loved my son, and he knew I would stay if my son was there. So he'd be like, you're not going nowhere with my son, but you can go. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll put me out. So I remember one night I was in the shower, y'all. I was in the shower. This is so embarrassing, but this is my story, y'all. I do not care. Y'all want to know what I went through? I'm about to tell y'all everything. I'm not holding nothing back. I remember this one night we got into an argument in Plymouth Village Apartments. You know how many people stayed out there at the time and how embarrassing this was? Yeah, I'm talking about one night we got in an argument. I was in the shower. He came up in there, pushing me on my head, choking me, you know. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I didn't fight back for a long time. So I just took it. You know what I'm saying? I just took it. So he was like, we was arguing. I was trying to walk away from him. So I'm going towards the kitchen. So while I'm going towards the kitchen, he still, you know, trying to fight on me, trying to, you know, choke me and stuff like that. So all of a sudden, he just pulled my towel off of me and pushed me out the door, y'all, and locked it. So I'm naked outside. I'm naked. So it's dark though. You know what I'm saying? So it's dark. So I'm holding myself, You know what I'm saying? I'm holding myself like, and I'm squinting down in the corner, but I'm lightly knocking on the door. I'm like, Gerald, please let me in. Don't do this. You know, like, it was embarrassing. You know, like, I'm like, Gerald, you know, open the door. You know, like, please don't do this. So I'm trying to be quiet because I'm trying to be quiet because it's embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's embarrassing. So he know what he doing because he know, like, I'm naked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm naked. You know, like, I can't really yell the way I want. I can't scream the way I want. I can't go knocking no neighbor door like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was embarrassing. So he left me outside about 30 minutes, y'all. And I'm just in a corner, just sitting there by the door, just balled up. So after that, he let me in. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. And when I think about what she told me, that's what I think about. You know what I'm saying? Like, how, you know, it's crazy how the same situation with his daddy was the same situation with me and him. So we got put out of Plymouth Village. Eventually, we got put out of Plymouth Village because it was just a lot of drama. JR and Shaq, one of his friends, had got into a big altercation. We was all out there fighting. My upstairs neighbor used to annoy the hell out of me. She used to have dudes just in and out of her apartment just all the time, and I had a newborn baby, and they used to just frustrate me, you know. But that's low income housing, you know what I'm saying? You gonna hear bumps and rumbles and what people doing in their bedroom. It was just irritating. So we got kicked out for multiple reasons when we stayed out there. So okay, this when we moved to Porter Street. So in the time of us being homeless, you know, we was still back in when we got to homeless parts in our relationship, like, we would go back and forth to Woodville, or we'll sleep in the car. Like, we used to sleep in the car. Like, I ain't embarrassed to say that. Like, I used to sleep in the car with my baby daddy. We used to sleep in the car with our son sometimes, yeah. So after that, we got a house on Porter Street, and then that's when it took a tragic turn. You know, like, it went from choking and holding me to the house. Now he hit me like I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? So we moved to Porter Street, but in the meantime, before we got on Porter Street, like I said, we was back and forth from Woodville. So while we was in Plymouth Village, leaving Plymouth Village, we had found out because JR mama boyfriend called him one day and was like, yo, mama got too much money. But remember, I told y'all, she said his check got cut off. So, you know, he was working out of pocket. So JR mama boyfriend called JR one day and was like, yo, mama been around here with too much money, JR. You might want to call the Social Security office and see if they gave you your check back. Because mind you, she told us that, you know, Gerald check got cut out. Meanwhile, we in Plymouth Village struggling, trying to buy diapers and formula and all kind of stuff. So Gerald like, nah, my mama would have told me if my check on. So Pete was like, nah, JR, go see. You know what I'm saying? So JR go up to the Social Security office, and sure enough, they told him his check been back on for a couple of months. The whole time that woman watched us struggle, paying bills, trying to take care of Demarion, and the whole time that boy was getting his check. So when I think about JR and the neglect, you know, that was part of the reason I didn't want to leave him too, because I'm like, damn, you know, his mama gave him away when he was a child because he looked like his daddy. And in a way, she just do him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was like another eye-opener. Like, dang, okay, well, you know, like, you really, like, be doing your son dirty. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, he found out his check was back on, okay? So, we used that. She started to help us that now that we found out that his check was back on. So, we got the house on Porter or whatever. So when we stayed on Porter, they had a house in front of us and we was behind the house. So we had like this man and his family that stayed in front of us, and then we stayed in the back of them. So I remember when we first moved to that house, because Shaquille had died at the time, and even though him and Gerald had their differences, like Gerald loved him and he loved us, and we loved Shaq, you know what I'm saying? So rest in peace, Shaquille Logan. You know, I love Shaq despite whatever him and Gerald had going on. But we moved to that house and it's like things just turned for the worse. You know what I'm saying? Like I recall the first time Gerald put his hands on me, like hit me, like black eye, bloody nose. Like I recall Mike. Gerald had a friend named Mike. And Mike, if you see this video, you know, reach out, because he was so disgusted. He was so disgusted. In that day particular, me and Gerald had got into an argument. I don't know what we was arguing about. But he got so mad. He held me down on the bed, and I was screaming for him to let me go and get off of me. So Mike was telling him, like, dude, you tripping, like, get off of her. She a female, you know? So I'm screaming, telling him, let me go. So he bit my breast. Like, I still got the bite mark. I'm not lying, y'all. I got a bite mark on my breast. He bit my breast. So when